the nostalgia has been brought back in this chapter, and I've got to say, Neinheart has probably the most intimidating power out of all of the Spriggans so far, not because of its ability itself, but because of the amount of insane range this shit can do. And it's like, what exactly it foretells and what it does, I've got to say, yeah, I feel like this one could be a challenge, but we've still got to be careful that this person could be beaten because it's Erza. Can I just get to straight out saying, like, I absolutely love History of Corpses. I love this power so much because, one, it brings out the personality of like these characters, and it's like, this is the beauty of Historia. It's like, they're not clones, they're not puppets, they're not illusions and all that. It's like, I use your memories and all that. It has a personality, and it works on, like, your history and personality with these characters as well. So it's like the one that kind of got to Kagura is she was like, as she was going like, big bro, and it's like, Kagura, you've gotten so big like that, you've gotten like beautiful, and I'm like, that's fucked up, just disappearing right in front of your eyes. She was crying, she was like, I want to hurt this guy. And like, even like, I like that Neinheart isn't just like this guy that just summons these clones. He's actually able to as well, like, use a blast out of his hands. I'm like, okay, at least he's just like, he can do something. I mean, he managed to like, Jellal had to be, oh shit, this girl's in danger like that. He grabbed him, fell into the sea. I remember someone saying to that's how exactly they got wet in the spoilers, and I was like, I should have fucking thought about that as they were at the fucking ocean. So yeah, that was a little bit of the silly part on my end. I know, big massive dickhead, I know, coming from me. So thank you to the guy that pointed that out. I'm a fucking dumbass. But I've just got to talk about the bit I loved the most out of this chapter. And it was bringing back a very old face that I haven't seen in a very long time, and it's Ikaruga. And I'm like, Ikaruga from the fucking Tower of Heaven arc? Like, she was so fucking badass. She was the first, like, real person that gave Erza a challenge that wasn't bullshit, and that she was a badass bitch. And Erza, although beat her, she was still awesome, and she was like, oh, you forgot about me already, Erza? And even, like, fucking, you can see Neinheart respecting this shit. He's like, Ikaruga, my beautiful Historia, and it's like, So, like, I'm wondering by that as well, it's saying, like, it's like, if he's going by his story, it's like, maybe he had a relationship with his past, maybe this is, like, going a lot by just Erza and him, maybe he's, like, the one that kind of did something to him, because this is the one where I'm a little bit iffy with when it comes to it, because, like, I'll get into it in a minute, but going in the order, then fucking, like, Azuma comes out saying, like, yeah, this isn't the Erza I fought, she's super injured, look at this bit, and he's like, now that I sure would like to bear witness to that incomparable, like, you know, strength of yours. And then even fucking blowing her up, swinging around, here comes fucking a double attack from him. And I'm like, the fucking Mugetsu Miyu, like that, like Yasha Senku comes out, and then Kyoka. So all the formidable opponents that she's really, like, fought throughout it. It would have been awesome if, like, Erza Nightwalker was there as well, but I guess that would have not made sense, having another Erza there. But it's like, coming from that, it was like, this is the Historia of Corpses, like, from there. And I'm like, I first thought of that, and I'm like, wait a minute. Historia of Corpses? When the fuck did Ikaruga die? Like, she got bopped, and I remember in the anime she escaped with, like, her people, like, she got out of there, and if I remember in the manga as well, she took some blood, like, she got slashed up a bit, but she didn't die. So, and even Azuma asked this question, it's like, oh, so you're dead and all that, and she's like there, like, laughing with a little, like, going, oh, like, you know, just saying, oh, you're terrible, Mr. Azuma, and I'm, like, there as well, like, when the fuck did she die? Like, was this, like, because this is the thing, is saying, like, if obviously, like, from what it sounds like with all these characters and all that, I feel like with Neinheart, maybe Neinheart might have done something to her, like, maybe he might have killed her, maybe, like, it would have been fucked up if, like, this was, like, her actual boyfriend or something like that, and he was just like, yeah, you bored me, whack. Because that's the one thing where I'm like, I'm always a bit iffy on Kagura. Kagura's a badass bitch, don't get me. But it was like, do you know who's a better swordswoman, like, compared to her? Like, Ikaruga. Because Ikaruga was a fucking challenge, and I thought she was always just going to come back someday with, like, you know, joining one of the Dark Guilds or something like that. A more powerful one instead of, like, what she was. And I'm like, that's really disappointing because I feel like that was one of the characters, and especially like those other motherfuckers as well, like that owl and that one guy that like possessed Julia that Lucy had to fight. Like, I thought they were cool, but Ikaruga, like, she was such a badass bitch. She was such a badass bitch. I'd put her on parallel with like Erza at that time. I was like, no, I loved her. I absolutely love her design. I love the kind of kimono, walking around with a big long, like, kind of like big massive sandal. Like, I love that stuff. I think that's like real classic, like, sort of lady like that from that sort of era, and I think that's a fucking beautiful design. And coming from that, I'm like, I was a little bit iffy at her dying. Like, I was like, that's some questionable shit. And then that's not all, because the best part of the power is that its range is fucking insane, because Gray and fucking Leon are fighting, and like comes back, like Meredy comes back, like, see where Zonkro's there, and I'm like, Zonkro's badass. Like, Zonkro's a beast, and that's what I want to see, because Zonkro I love, because he's a Godslayer badass. Like, another person that gave a character the run for his money, Natsu, like that, and that's not, you can't say that too many times for a character, especially like he took the first round on Natsu, and not many opponents could say that. Even having like Keys come back to Juvia, you even got that piece of shit that fucking like Wendy fought during like the whole Tartarus arc that made it go like Dragon Force. Like, Lux has got it the worst. Like, Lux has just got, he got Hades. It's like, yeah, it's like, he's like, this is some twisted joke, man. He's like, oh, it's you, the one that's got Yuri's blood flowing through his veins. So it's like, they all have their personality. It's like, how far these, like, this ranges is insane. That is nuts. Like, that is a ridiculous, like, to know that it works miles. It's like, it works on a miles, like, basis. That is a very strong battle. Like, I love Damaria's one. She can control time. I think that's what I like all that. But I think, like, just the fact of, like, how useful this ability is great. Now, here's the thing with it, like, coming into it, because we're literally going to the end of the chapter as, like, everyone's, like, beating the shit out of her. And it's like, you know, you took the words out of my mouth and all that, you know, entertain me, show me some quality entertainment. My history of corpses will bloom the battlefield. And, like, it ended off with Kagura and Jellal getting out of the sea, and she was there, like, holding her sword, like, looking like she wanted to, like, kill the motherfucker, and then it was like, oh, then she just started getting the same, like, she started getting, like, you know, like, mouth to mouth and all that, and, like, I remember seeing the sport of that. It looked like Erza was screaming, like, just saying, yo, you're touching, like, Jellal, get the fuck off him. It was more like, oh, I'm charging into the battle, and I need to, like, buy some time. Now, the chapter itself I really like, although I want some clarification on the whole Ikaruga's thing, because I still think that's shitty that she died. That, like, it's like, especially like I did notice that one line. It was like, oh, my like beautiful like Historia, and I'm like, that's hinting at something. I feel like that, like, maybe they might have been a thing. Maybe they might have been a couple. They might have been like, related. They may have been friends. Like, what was going on? I'm like saying that maybe they're a couple or something like that. She got bored. Like, maybe like he got bored of her or something like that, and he's fucking off there. And he's like, oh, maybe something else happened. Maybe she accidentally crosses Aerith, and that's what happened. Like, I don't know, it's just like, Ikaruga was such a badass bitch, and I always wish that she came back, and I kind of gave up that she just got written off in the story, and I feel like this is just a way to, like, bring back a character and heroine. Oh yeah, that bitch, like that. I don't know, maybe she just wasn't a popular character compared to, like, many of the other, like, fairy tale girls that we've seen. Maybe she's not that, like, popular as, like, I don't know, like, fucking Yukino or something like that, but it's like, she never got that real time to, like, shine like the other girls, like, so that's a bit of a shame to that. Like, I like her. Asuma's badass, like, although, like, that's, people question that's where, like, Fairy Tail's, like, quality of fight start going with the whole friendship thing. It's mainly, like, the characters that she fights are not the things that's wrong with it. It's Erza that's the fucking problem, especially the Kyoka fight. But the Tyrus arc, as I would still say, is the best arc in Fairy Tail next to, like, I love Tower of Heaven for many reasons. Like, it's still my favorite arc, but I still think, like, Tyrus is the best one, and it stopped Tartarus from being, like, what, Tartarus is an amazing arc, and it's, like, it stopped it from being godlike to, like, oh my god, you need, like, just, oh my god, you, like, every fucking anime fan needs to see that arc, it's so badass. Like, it's the one big stinker of that arc, and it's Erza, not the torture stuff and all that was fucked up, but it's, like, the whole, like, oh, I got no senses and friendship, that was where that, like, Fairy Tail that started getting the joke, and also as well, like, the Kagura Minerva fight, and it's like, Urza didn't have a good fight since, like, the Urza Nightwalker stuff in Endless. That's pretty fucking bad right there, like coming into that. And it's like, and that's the thing, I've never been too much of an Erza fan. I've always thought she was kind of badass at the start, but it was like her fights, especially like I think Terajima one is fine. I think people go a little bit too much on that one. I do admit there's some real stupid shit into that one. But like with that though, it's like her fights just, I felt like just got worse, and it was just like, oh, I have to be the strongest because I'm the S class of the group, and it's like, she shouldn't be there. She should be equals with like everyone, not just like, oh, I've come out for no like needs necessary. It's just like, that's just how I am with Erza though, and it's just like, I want to see Kaga and all that. This is how I want a fight go down. Because Neinheart, I said it before, this guy, once these guys are gone, he's useless. Like, this guy just does not look like he can take a punch. This is like literal one shot I'm seeing here with this guy. What I want it to be is they take care of him, Jellal wakes up, Kaga go in, they go in, slash the guys up and all that, and they have a ping pong session with fucking Neinheart. Like, she comes back, dashes around him, slices the sword back into the back of him, he goes flying, Jellal goes in the sky, he's bashing him up, doing the meteors and shit like that. Like I want him doing that. Maybe he's like distracted with the whole black hole technique they learned, or like his Optimus shit like that, and then there comes Erza in with doing some fucking Virgil Devil May Cry shit. I want her like picking the sword up, the katana, slashing him, doing the slow pull back into the sheath. I love that shit like that. Do that. If not, just have all of them attack at once. If that's the way, like, because I know Erza's probably got to get the final blow into that stuff, or even the first blow onto that, even if it comes to it, because I still don't think this guy can just take more than one hit. Like, it doesn't look like that way. But his power, I've got to say, is next to the time powers of Demaria, and I love Demaria's fight anyway, but it's like, I think, like, this could be a good fight if Erza just isn't that fucking character that has to ruin it again. And we're literally leaving it on last on the next chapter of this, like being like titled Vigor, which I'm kind of scared that's gonna be like, oh, Erza's got vigor, she's got hope for her friends. Oh no, it's like, no, like, because it's like, it's such a perfect setup where it's taken 3 characters to take him down. Like, it's taken Crime Sorcerer, Mermaid Heel, and Fairy Tail's S class. That's what I like, but it's like, this could go so many ways. This could go so many ways, and I'm like, please, please be good, please. So overall, I think setup is an 8.5. I love the setup on there. I'm a little bit weirded out on the whole Ikaruga thing. I mean, I'm fine with that. She's badass. She's badass as hell. There was obviously that big question about, oh, like, the whole being dead part, so that's definitely very ominous. I loved that she came back. I thought the all part was cool. I really like Zancro, because Zancro's a fucking monster. You got, like, he's in there. You got everyone. I think even the Hades one was messed up for, like Laxus, because Laxus was just on the floor dead pretty much, and it was like, that's some messed up shit. But it's like, I feel like it's real good setup. Boy, does next week have to, like, execute this perfectly if this is the last part of the fight, which normally is, like, the sort of situation where we're at. Like, it's been normally about, like, what, 3-4 chapters we've been going for a fight, mainly 3, so boy, am I riding everything on next week, because I have a feeling I'm not gonna like next week's chapter if, like, Erza's involved in it. So take that as you will. I'm concerned. I am concerned, but I do love the setup. I do love the setup. I love the powers. I love who came back. I love Ikaruga. I love Zancro. Hades. Asuma as well. He's badass too. Kyoka, I maybe put her on there like a bit, because she's like, you know, that whole resolve of the Tartarus stuff, like anything that involved Tartarus with her, that wasn't like some cool stuff, was really questionable Erza stuff. So there you go. That's all for me though. So if you love Fairy Tail as much as I am and concerned about it as well, then you hit that like and that subscribe button. But that's all for me. I've been your host, Savagezweipanda, and you take it easy, and I'll see you guys next time.